Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here today. We're taking a quick look at NKN, and just before we do, usually look at Bitcoin, but I can summarize really quick and easy. It's kind of hanging out right around 66,000. It's trying to break its all-time high, but until the one-day candlestick closes, we don't really know what's going to happen just yet. But that being said, let's take a look at NKN, and if you're new to the channel, I'm totally not a financial advisor, but I have been trading for over 15 years, and in my experience, I've learned a lot. I've trained a lot of people how to become better traders, and that's my goal here, is to help you become a better, more effective trader in crypto. I have a signal group / trading community, link in the description below for that, where I send out signals for every single trade that I take. But more importantly, I teach a lot of how to become better, better traders, right? Best practice, the whole 9 yards. So check that out in your own time. I do recommend sooner than later, just based on the fact that we're increasing rates next month based on demand and the fact that we do have limited slots available. Regardless, check that out in your own time. So NKN, one-day chart, taking a look here, we got the Fibonacci retracement pulled up from, I think, yesterday, the day before when I covered it last. And simply put, it's definitely retracing. That's pretty standard procedure for NKN. In fact, in most cases, it retraces down to one of the two lower Fibonacci retracement lines, okay? And it's funny because I kind of got these like squiggly lines here based on what could happen next. And I think, again, the next leg up could reach right around 88 cents. I think that's still a very strong probability. But moving forward, let's go ahead and find out where we're at in the more short term here. Because I do think that, yeah, we're going to see somewhere in the range of, $1 to $2 for NKN this year. I think that's pretty safe to say. All right, excuse me. So starting with the previous period, right? If we just kind of go with quick Fibonacci here for the previous one, right? The price came up, retraced eventually all the way back down to 0.382, which is the second Fibonacci retracement line. Okay, so if we kind of take that same sentiment, right? Hypothetically, this increase here could go all the way down to 52 cents. That could be the lowest point, right? Again, as long as it's making higher highs and higher lows, doesn't matter how low it goes. If the lowest point doesn't come past 44 cents, we're good. However, right now the price is right around 0.786. That's the upper Fibonacci retracement line, and I think there's a chance we might see the price come down lower. Now, we might want to wait until see for when this one-day candlestick closes, or kind of understand what the exhaustion might be looking at for this year. But simply put, I think this retracement could continue just based on the previous ways in which NKN has retraced after a solid increase. Keep in mind, this is also a larger increase than the previous as well. So there's that also factoring in. All right, so we'll just take a quick look at the standard TA, and then we'll go ahead and dive into the Fibonacci retracement lines and TD sequential. So taking a look here, of course, RSI is back under 70, which is perfectly fine. It's actually above 50 still. We won't know for a little while what that looks like, but ideally, if the price were to continue to retrace, it'd bounce off 50 and continue back upwards. Looking at the 4-hour chart, very much a similar scenario, which is perfect. We like to see this. The 4-hour and the one-day chart are pretty similar in a lot of ways with the RSI. They both can be kind of viewed the same, but obviously this is a faster moving time frame. Therefore, you can expect it to move a little bit more, right? And that's perfectly fine. Everything's great the way it is. In fact, the MACD even looks good too, because even though it's kind of coming back down and it looks like it could be a potential bearish divergence, that will likely not happen based on the ways in which it looks like it's consolidating and almost bouncing right in this area here. Okay, so we'll look at that, of course, closer too. Another thing to note as well is the moving average. We're well above that, which is kind of cool. It's coming up right around 0.52. So I'd say the lowest point in which we might see retracement would be about 52 cents. That'd probably be the worst case scenario, because that 50 is going to come up and kind of hold the price action up. Looking at the 1-hour chart, let's go ahead and see what's going on here. So first of all, take a look at the cloud. This is a great sign. I love to see this. This is fantastic because you can see the price kind of averaging out, and it will, in most cases, continue upwards to kind of progress with the cloud. Right? Now, it doesn't always work out that exact same way. A lot of times it can consolidate further, kind of travel into the cloud, do one of these, and then eventually break out, right? But the key takeaway here is once we lose the cloud, we're effectively losing this key level of support of 59 cents, and that could imply that the price would be retracing back down, right? But this is a pretty good sign here. Again, still higher highs and higher lows, but if this one can't break this resistance level and it comes back down here, then that's going to be lower highs and lower lows, and then we're going to be in a position where we might want to consider some alternatives or consider adding to our position, dollar cost averaging, whatever the case is. That certainly wouldn't be a bad thing, right? Just depends on where you take entry. So, NKN does look like it's ready to ramp up and do some things here, but we'll see in a moment. Furthermore, we're going to take a look at TD sequential. We've got a reset here. As you can see, kind of the standard procedure. Look at that. This is actually a perfect example of how TD sequential works. When you hit a 9, it will most likely retrace. This one went into overtime, about 2 or 3 candlesticks, and then started to come back down. We counted down to 9, and look at that, nice consolidation period, and it's trying to ramp back up again. So hypothetically, again, it doesn't exactly have to happen this way. We could have 6 to 10 more hours worth of bullish momentum in that sense, where we could drive up to try to break this the current resistance of 63.5. Is that what it is? Yeah, 63.5, to kind of come up here to keep making those higher highs and higher lows, right? So what would be optimal is if we were to see the price come up here and kind of do one of these, right? That would be optimal. Of course, we don't always get what we want. NKN has a tendency of just shooting straight up and then retracing, 60% of the way. But that being said, we're still a little early here to know what that looks like. But keep this in mind, the previous retracement came all the way down to this Fibonacci retracement line, the second one. So if, again, worst case scenario, we make lower highs and lower lows, I would say that 52 cents would be the worst case scenario. That's my speculation. That would still put us at higher highs and higher lows on the 4-hour and the 1-day chart, right? But again, the 1-hour chart, in order to make higher highs, that'd be very fantastic. We ultimately want to see something like this. But don't get super concerned if it comes up here and rejects and then comes down here and does one of these, because it'll probably average out and eventually come back up. Again, this is based on its history, right? That's why I love trading coins that have a solid history and they're not just brand new ICOs, because it does help a lot to understand more specifically its history and how it performs. This one is, I wouldn't say it's a pump and dump, but it pumps up and it does dump somewhat, and then it just continues in that same direction for some time. But the key takeaway here is we're making higher highs and higher lows. We're in good shape. We'll take a look at the 1-hour chart again here soon, maybe later today or tomorrow, to ensure that we take a closer look and understand what that looks like. But simply put, we're in good shape here, and I would say we're still definitely looking at 88 cents as a likelihood within the next 2 to 3 weeks. It could even happen sooner, but I don't want to, kind of over speculate. But keep this in mind. It's made a decent amount of progress in this amount of time here, and that's only about 3 days. So hypothetically, we could literally see 88 cents in 3 days, maybe even sooner. But we'd rather see it in a week or two based on the fact that it would have some time to consolidate, and then we can have a really strong ramp up to its all-time high eventually, right? Because we're nowhere even near that when you think about it. I mean, yes, we're in the realm, but we're looking at 130 to 150 is a rough estimate for the resistance channel, and we'll eventually get there. Just a matter of time, right? So I would say year-end definitely going to be testing or breaking the all-time high. We're probably going to be that resistance channel. Month-end, we're looking at probably about 88 cents as a realistic estimate. So I hope you found benefit here today. Please like and subscribe if you had. If you haven't already, consider doing so. Maybe also consider joining my Patreon community so you can learn and grow together with my patrons, and we all are getting much better at becoming more efficient traders, myself included too. You learn something new every single day. And what's great is I actually offer signals for every single trade that I take. It's fully automated through Cornix, so you can just one-click follow and keep up to date with it if you're ever too busy to take a look at it. Like I am, I can look at this every single day, all day long, because I just thoroughly enjoy charting, right? It's just something exciting about it. It kind of fulfills that need. Either way, thanks again for your time. We'll see you in the next video. Have a great rest of your day.